Welcome aboard. After years cruising the North Pacific, we are embarking on a journey south to warmer waters. This is our story day by day as we explore Mexico's beautiful Baja coast. Come along and experience daily cruising life as we do. Good morning. It's about 3 a.m. Time to give you an update on how we're doing. We are still moving along at about 6.5 knots. We have about, I want to say 80 hours left. I'm sorry, 63 miles left. I was thinking 80. 63 miles left, about 10 hours to go to our destination. Winds picked up quite a bit. It's coming across the peninsula, so we're looking at 12 or so knots of wind here. See if I can show you. This is the chart. Let me blow it up a little bit for perspective. So we are crossing this area here, and over here is La Paz, as a matter of fact, which is kind of interesting as we work our way down to Cabo. Oh, boat's moving a bit. And we're coming from this area over here. So we're 2/3 of the way, working our way, but like I said, the winds have picked up quite a bit. This is our time zero in the nighttime mode, so that's why it's as dark as it is. Nothing else on the radar. If I look at the wind maps, we're right about here in our passage right here, and the winds, you can see we're just in this stretch where there must be a lowland over the land, and the winds are coming off of the Sea Cortez and coming over, and we are seeing them right now. We have what's the winds? 10 right now with a 10-minute average of 13. It's been sitting in the teens. Maybe we're getting to the end of it, hopefully. But other than that, we still have a few hitchhikers on the lines, and well, the cats are getting up. It's time for maybe a midnight snack. Blake just left the chair and Barkley just took it, but Blake's down there getting some food, so all's well here. Jim's getting some rest, and otherwise it's just dark outside. So turn this back around. Not too much going on, but actually a really comfortable cruise, and we're getting used to these overnights now that we're wrapping them up. This is probably going to be our last one for a while until we decide to cross the Sea of Cortez. After we reach Cabo, then it's pretty much day hops for the passages that we have after that. And the bulk of our traveling time will be over, and then hopefully it can be more exploring time. So that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. It is getting warmer. I still have like a window open and screens in. I did put a jacket on because I was just starting to get a little bit chilled. I think it's just getting tired too. But definitely feeling that. Let's take a look. The water temperature is up to 71. It was 68 in Mag Bay. So we're seeing a little bit of a climb there, and I think that's what contributed to that beautiful blue water we saw with the dolphins yesterday. So very cool. Excited to see what's coming up. Talk to you soon. But that's the 3 a.m. update.
Well, the 5 a.m. report, as we continue to move along toward Cabo. Not much to see, but quite a bit to feel. Wind is at 20 knots right there, right on the port beam, and we are feeling that. So we're rolling, 10 to 15 degrees to starboard right now, with what's probably, if we could see out the window, a pretty strong wind chopper. Waves coming right from the port side. We're right in a gap. where the wind comes over Baja from La Paz area and comes across. And so we're thinking in a couple more hours this will actually die off, but for now it's kind of stay seated mode. Well, it's 6:30 a.m. We've got a golden sunrise occurring. The wind is calm to a little bit under 10 knots. The sea state is much better, so I thought you guys were all coming with us, but I think for the lumpy part you got to sleep through it. And Rosie talked about that wind funneling over from the La Paz area. You can see the mountains here, and if we go and you can see the dip down, it's that low area of mountains that wind funnels over that we're just getting past now.
It's about 8:30 this morning. We are 3 to 4 hours outside of our next waypoint, which is right up here, which is about 2 hours outside of getting to the anchorage area in Cabo. The weather conditions aren't bad. The winds have settled out. Let me take you outside. It's reasonably lumpy still. We do have the paravanes in the water, and we'll just as soon keep it that way. Makes it easier because we want to kind of do some things in the boat. The sun's coming up and we're pretty much following the sun's path toward Cabo. Ooh, there's some whale spouts in the distance. I was noticing them off the port side. Fortunately, nothing in front of us that I can see. The land is coming to us again. Oh, there's a spout. And what else? Here's looking out to the Pacific. And take a look at that. These are the lines that the birds were on last night. But take a look at the paravane pole. Let's see if I can capture this for you. They left their mark on the pole. Gotta love it, not. So we'll have a little boat washing to do. But anyway, so there you have it, another beautiful morning. Oh, there's a whale right there. Hopefully we can zoom in and get that for you. Just one jump, coming out of the water and oh, there's another one right up there. Oh my goodness. They're here. We passed Todos Santos just a little bit ago. Like I said, 3 hours to get to the next waypoint that gets us around the corner into Cabo. Looks like I gotta watch for whales. What a beautiful thing to have to watch for.
32 miles to go, and Rosie's gonna make some banana bread with some old bananas we have this morning. Yeah, with a close supervision there in the background.
No, he's waiting for breakfast.
Okay. I think Rosie's working on their breakfast in the foreground.
Yep.
Blake having his breakfast in his spot, and Barkley, in theory, having breakfast in his spot. But what are we looking at? Oh. Here's these same birds that a bunch of them spent the night on the other side. They haven't made a mess of this pole yet. Banana bread is mixing.
Got our banana bread done. It's in the loaf pan. The plan was to get something that's like a moist banana bread. This has nuts and raisins in it. It called for almonds. I didn't have any, so I used pecans. So it's toasted pecans and raisins and lots of good old bananas. So it's going in the oven now.
Banana bread is out of the oven and cooling. Time for some fresh banana bread for breakfast. Compliments of Baker Rosie.
As we approach Cabo, clearly we're getting into the big kids playground as this boat zips past us. I think it's 120 some foot and doing 18 knots to R6. But look at the shoreline here down the coast. We're getting there.
All right, crew, you're along for the ride. We're a few hours out of Cabo and it's time to figure out this anchorage. Now, I mentioned before, I think in yesterday's video or the day before yesterday, that Cabo maybe is not well liked. And frankly, you can't find anyone who likes Cabo as an anchorage or a place to go in their boat. And it doesn't mean it's not a great place to go and have a whole lot of fun, but there's a huge amount of apparently rental jet skis and tour boats and party boats and loud music, and it makes it very rolly and difficult, and the anchorage is steep and a bunch of those kind of issues. So figuring out where to anchor is going to be our first chore before we even get there. So let's take a quick look at the cruising guide and what it shows.
Okay, this is the guide we're working with.
It's the Mexico boating guide. And here's Cabo, and it just shows anchoring out along this shore in like 20 feet of water. Somewhere in there.
All right, another thing we looked at is what is in Active Captain, which is on the charts where people put in reviews of different anchorages. It's like crowdsourcing information. So these are some of the reviews we were reading. Still loud, still rolling. November of 2021, one of my least favorite places, lots of traffic and noise throughout the anchorage. Cabo makes Vegas look wholesome. This one is November 28, I think it's 21. We came down during the Baja and anchored as close to the beach and far east as possible. That gave us the best protection and worst noise wakes from the PWCs and Pangas. The wakes were so bad we rolled more than 25 degrees both ways for more than 4 hours each day. Another one says it's a great place if you want to party and spend lots of money. The anchorage is rolly and loud. Another one, definitely not comfortable and rolly, but manageable, and there's a lot to do on shore if the boat is uncomfortable. So none of those sound super exciting about a nice, calm, gentle anchorage. We knew it was going to be busy, we knew it was going to be loud, but then recently we had some friends here a few days ago who shared their story, and it honestly scared the crap out of us, so let's share that with you.
All right, first let's start by we have some friends that we met in Ensenada, and actually they're YouTube followers that in part purchased their boat because of our YouTube channel. But we left Ensenada before them, but then they skipped ahead a little bit and they got to Cabo San Lucas several days ago. So I just emailed and said, hey, how was the anchorage? Because you can see what we've read about it. And let me show you the chart first of where they were anchored. All right, here's the point. Here's the marina. This is the Active Captain kind of pointed right here. They were anchored where this dot is right here on the chart, about 0.6 of a mile from the entrance to the marina. All right, I'm just going to read you part of their email. Frankly, they had an almost catastrophic event while anchored in Cabo. And they said, we arrived in Cabo at 10 a.m. on Monday, and they're talking Monday 5 days ago. Today is Friday. Anchored fine and decided to go to the dinghy dock. When we returned, there was a cruise ship in the bay that was not anchored, just using its thrusters to stay in place. I suppose we thought it was a decent distance from us, so we weren't too bothered. While I was making lunch, David suddenly noticed the stern of the cruise ship was less than 4 feet from our bow on the starboard side. A couple of other boats had managed to lift their anchors and scurry out of the way, and a boat that had been next to us that didn't have a bridle on had dropped more chain and reversed in toward the beach. There were lots of people watching and what was going on, but nobody seemed to know what to do. Unfortunately, we knew that we didn't have enough time to lift the anchor and suspected it might be under the cruise ship at this point anyway. We were just about to put some fenders out and hope for the best when the ship slowly pulled away from us. Hard to believe it came so close without noticing, but it's a busy anchorage and we just weren't paying attention ourselves. We noticed that the next cruise ship that came in the next morning dropped anchor. Anyway, we stocked up on some fresh potatoes and left. So that's their experience. Almost being mowed over by a cruise ship at anchor. That would have been catastrophic for their boat. Yeah. So that's frightening.
That's
a little
terrifying.
bit. Yeah. So we're going to take all that into account in the chart and think about where we might anchor. Fortunately, if we decide to go to shore, we could anchor way over here. If we decide to go to shore, we can do so in the big tender, which can handle this further distance. I suspect when people talk about this fast drop-off, they're right in here. But it looks like if you go further east, you have a big area of 50 feet deep, and I'm fine anchoring in 50 feet of water.
But you might lose the protection around the point
But we
for
might
the rolls.
lose the protection here. So we're just going to have to find out when we get there. Either way, I don't think it's a stop that will be long for Sea Venture.
We're about an hour out of Cabo San Lucas. We wanted to take a moment and pull the fish in so that we had one less thing to think about as we enter into the bay. And here is the shoreline as we work our way forward. We're working our way toward the point. I thought I'd show you the shoreline. It's kind of interesting to see all the different resorts here. As we make our way to the point. As we approach the point that we need to go around to get to the anchorage around Cabo, we just encountered a bunch of boats, and it looks like these might be whale watching or just pleasure craft, I don't know. We saw a whale fluke over there, and I think they've all headed that direction now, which opens a path for us this direction. And there's a bunch of guys out this way too, so not sure if they are whale watching or fishing, if that's where you fish. Don't know. Anyway, tons of boat traffic out here, so just trying to steer clear of it all, the craziness, and get ourselves around the corner and settled in someplace. We'll see how it goes. We've now made the turn and we're coming into the bay. Looking at all this crazy traffic, but you know, it's just a happening spot.
Salute!
Salute! We are in Cabo San Lucas. There was a cruise ship here earlier today. They have now departed. The schedule says that there will be one tomorrow and one the following day, so we will see how that plays out. It'll be kind of fun to kind of check out the neighborhood. Here is, oh, there's another big boat coming out. The town and a sunset on the town. We'll go check it out tomorrow. We're going to stay here on the boat tonight and just make sure we're comfortable with where she's at and everything that's going on, but I think we'll be just fine. Do you agree?
I think so. We anchored about a mile from town or so. We're in a flats area versus on the slope that people talked about. Frankly, we're not far though from where our friends had problems with the cruise ship on Monday, but let's hope that there's no repeat of that activity. And it's kind of wild, you know.
Oh yeah, there's
a lot of
so much going on everywhere.
Probably just looking around right now, I can see 40 or 50 boats out cruising around, you know, and so Sea Venture and her paravanes that work at anchor, woohoo, are working fantastic.
Yeah.
Up here I can see the bird crap all over my paravane poles. I'm gonna have to figure out how to clean that.
Get those cleaned up. Those are pretty wild.
Thank you all to the followers and watchers today that let us know that those are frigate birds.
All right, the frigate birds that were freeloading and catching a ride last night.
Not
Some
sure,
on
looking
the
at my paravane poles in the daylight, that's what I would call them.
maybe poopy birds. Yeah, so lots of resorts, of course, here on the shoreline, and Lots of little party boats coming around. It's a really kind of interesting anchorage. There's a huge catamaran coming our way.
Yeah, right
So,
at us.
We'll see how close they come. We'll just hang on to you for the ride there. You can see some boats out over that way, and I want to go check out those pillars or whatever is over there. Go
That
see
beach
what's
area.
going on. Yeah.
We'll launch the big tender tomorrow and go explore.
Yep. Okay, real quick before the big boat gets here. What's this thing, Jim? Speak loudly, please.
Yep. So if Sea Venture is not your style, it's Ladacha. Ladatcha. I think a relatively famous or so. 250 foot, somewhere right in there. Yacht.
Expedition yacht.
Expedition
Yep.
yacht. 7 stories tall, 2 helicopters on board, available for charter for $800,000 per week, plus expenses. So book your trip today on Ladacha.
Yep, here's this big cat coming by.
Hey, one was coming by earlier today playing all kinds of music, all these people dancing on it, playing Elvis songs. It was great. Look at all of them.
Yeah. So here you have it, a very busy anchorage. Oh, we did talk about our friends that had trouble with the cruise ship. And one thing that we are kind of hopeful that we read correctly is that there was one boat here today, and it's scheduled to have one tomorrow and one the next day, and that will encompass our entire time here. And then actually 3 on Tuesday, and we will be out of here. Jim's doing a jig here.
For the catamaran music. So I
Yeah.
do have something to say about the party boats here.
All right, what do you have to say?
It would be easy as a cruiser, I think, to bitch about the party boats and all the wakes they create and the loud music at night. But I'm not going to be one of those people. You know, we get to be, these are all people, took their hard-earned money, maybe took a week of vacation, they get to be here for 5 or 6 days. We're going to be here till June. So I feel blessed by that. And and I don't want to inhibit at all their ability to have a great time over the course of just a few days, and just reminds me how fortunate we are to get to come here and spend as long as we want, enjoying the atmosphere and whatever. So if they can bring some music and dance and excitement for a few days here in Cabo, well, that's what Cabo is, and that's cool. I'm good with that.
And we can limit our time here and go wherever
And we can go wherever we want. How
Exactly.
lucky are we? Come on. And you get to go along for free. I'm up here. Hi from Cabo.
The night lights of Cabo.
Can you see me?
No. We see lights of Mega Yacht. Oh, there we go.
Can you see me?
Can you do it? Yes, we can. So what do you think? First impressions? Because we're just getting started.
Of Cabo?
Of the anchorage.
Oh, it's rolly.
It's rolly, all
It's
right.
loud. It's one big party. It's alive with thousands and thousands of people. Very different than whether it be the remote anchorages of Alaska or the quiet anchorages in Mexico with only other cruisers around. But it's all part of the experience. I like it. For now. 2 days. Nah, time to go. But for now, it's cool.
Let's see if I can do this.
What do you think, Rosie?
I was going to share what I think. I think that it's lovely to be able to sit up here and just look around at everything that's here. That's kind of cool. It's nice that it's warm and warm enough to sit up here. The breeze was kicking up earlier and it was a little cool, but now it's really nice, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it is 71 degrees this evening up here. And I think we saw it sometimes 48 degrees in Ensenada.
Oh yeah, it
Big
was chilly.
difference.
It was chilly. Definitely rolly. I had a hard time doing dishes tonight because you kind of need two hands and you can't hang on, and if a boat goes by it's even more, so it's kind of a little wild in that regard.
Yeah.
But so you're moving around like you're actually cruising, and Blake thinks he still is. He's still in the little cat bed on the table in the pilot house.
All right, Rosie. How far from Ensenada to Cabo did we cruise?
4,000.
No, from Ensenada
Oh,
to Cabo.
Ensenada?
755 nautical miles?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
How far did we cruise from Valdez, Alaska when we pointed Sea Venture South to here in the Pacific Ocean?
4,078, I think.
4,078
miles.
nautical miles.
That was a good long way.
From
Yeah.
Valdez to here. That's cool. That's a long ways.
And now we get to go east and north, so that'll be nice. All right, we're going to sign off for tonight, but check this out. It's pretty nice.
So until next time, you know we're wishing you
No wind and flat seas.
good night.
Bye, everyone.